Howdy. Hello, hello. And welcome to the Real Estate Apostle channel, where I am passionate about helping middle-aged adults like myself overcome the fear of leaving behind your six-figure job to start a business. So tonight I'm going to be going live talking about Turo. Give me a moment here while I go ahead and get set up. I hadn't realized that time had started here. So Turo, it's a platform that allows you to rent your car out to people. I like to say that Turo is like the Airbnb for cars. And I've heard other people say that too. Other Turo hosts have also stated that Turo is the Airbnb of for cars. And I'm excited. Turo is a platform that I've been on since July of 2022. And so for the last 4 months, and I'm super excited that it's the first thing that's been happening for me in this whole entrepreneur sphere. For those of you who don't know me, I quit my six-figure job as a registered nurse 2 years ago to start my journey as an entrepreneur. Along the way, I've tried a few different things, and I'm excited to say that Turo has been sticking and it's working. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this here live started. Give me a moment to log on my computer here. And I'm excited because this week I'm gonna, it's Monday, and I'm excited because this Monday I had it was a lot. I started this morning at 7 a.m. where I had to drop off my Black Explorer to the dealership to get oil change and tune up. And this kind of leads me to something I want to talk about a little bit later tonight too. Also, as far as like the maintenance that you have to put into your budget, as far as like expenses and things like that. And like I said before earlier, that I had got maintenance programs included with all of my vehicles, and I was extremely grateful for that today, because there were some expenses that I didn't have to pay for that was included in my maintenance program here. So here we go here. Hang on a second. I'm gonna mute, and there I go for that, so I can see questions and all those good things there. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button on your way in here. And again, welcome to the Real Estate Apostle channel, where I am sitting here sweltering under these new lights that I have here. And my goodness. And of course, I won't even go there. But anyway, welcome. And tonight's show is going to be an update on all of the stuff that I was talking about last week, when I had to go through, a guest sprinkling weed all over the back of my car, and melted not wax, but what was that? A coconut oil that had hardened. It was it became the consistency of wax, so it was pretty much like wax, and having to deal with a late return, and just all of the nightmares that you think about and you have a fear of happening to you, reason why you don't want to maybe get off into this little Turo business. But I'm here to say that, these are the ups and downs that kind of come and go with the actual running of this here business. Okay, yeah, I can hear me now. With the running of this business, Turo. And please excuse me. I'm slightly embarrassed here, but not really. It happens. It's part of, I'm 51. This is kind of things that you're going to have to go through. It's what you have to look forward to going through if you live to be this long here, be this old. So I told you about Turo, told you about my day starting today with the follow-ups of, I had 3 cars that were out. The 2 that was in the crash, one's in the shop, and one, the light, when I had to take off that silver edge. So this morning I bring in the Black Explorer to get the oil changed at 7 a.m. And then I have to go to my drop spot to pick up my white Explorer, who which had just come back from a trip, and people were having a fun time in Chicago and all that good stuff here. See, I've got a question here. Let me jump in here really quick with Mike. Real Sports Life says, what state are you an agent in? The good old state of Alabama, and Montgomery MLS is the matrix that I'm a part of for Montgomery here in Alabama. Alabama, yeah. Are you looking to get some property here in Alabama, where we got a lot of land and the prices are really cheap, really not cheap but inexpensive. So it's a great opportunity here, Alabama, to start over and really, make some good changes in your life and see some good growth. I'm a transplant myself. Actually, I moved to Montgomery, Alabama, I think 17 years ago. Yeah, to come out here and get some of this good old Southern hospitality, and it's been working rather nicely. So yes, Alabama. That's where I do my real estate. I'm a real estate agent here in Alabama. Are you into real estate too, Mr. Mike? Real Sports Life, or are you just curious about that kind of stuff? All right. So again, if you are into this here Turo thing, and like I said, I've been a one-woman show, and some of the things you're going to have to do is juggle all of these things. So what I did was, because I was worried that Turo was going to continue to book out the cars, and like I said, I was trying to. I got the one Black Explorer there. And you have to try to make sure you get the maintenance in between the trips, because when people get in, book your car, they could potentially put 1,000 miles on there. So you want to make sure that, the car is not out on a long trip. So this one here, I was really cutting it close because, I was cutting it close. And I almost missed it. But luckily, someone from the Ford, they called to alert me of it, and a guest was already out, and they were trying to extend, so I had to refuse to block it off so the car wouldn't be rented out. And I did put a small hold on the white Explorer too, because like I said, I was running back and forth between shops, and I also had to so I got 2 cars, oil change, tire rotation, and all that stuff. So just to kind of give you an idea of how fast these things happen, because a lot of times people are really, taking the cars for long trips. And before you know, you can be at that mileage and have to get that maintenance on your car. And to see Mike Real Sports Life says, no, I just got done door. Wait a minute, let me read over here. I just got done door knocking Reverse Halloween in Austin, just showing some love. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So you're in Austin. I hear that's a pretty, Texas is also a good area of people getting real estate and stuff like that. The prices are, pretty decent. You get a lot of bang for your buck out there. I'm a good proponent of, as far as like, I grew up in Los Angeles, California. I moved here on my 35th birthday. And, so it was a culture shock, but however, I'm looking at the benefits of like having an easier life. So I'm telling all my friends and family back in Los Angeles, get out of there, get out. I'm not joking. But, really sometimes may consider moving to, another area to start over and, have kind of a lot of the pressure taken off you when you have expensive, housing and things like that. It's really not a fun situation to be in. I was trying to dab again, but thank you for your comment, Mike Real Sports Life. You must be a new person to the group here. Yes, so thank you for your comment. And so again, back to the day. Swinging day was very nice. Started today at 7 and I ended around 4. So I got 3 cars serviced, and my Silver Explorer, I'm happy to say, while I was up there getting the other two vehicles back and forth with oil change, tire rotation, and all that good stuff, I mosey on over to the service department, who's been holding my new 22 Ford Edge that I didn't even have for a complete month before something weird happened with the light. So it's been off. I had to put that one on snooze until it got fixed. So I'll go over there, and of course, they got it fixed, and I was able to pick that one up too. So tomorrow I'll have 3 cars that could be booked. And I only cleaned one, so because I was doing a lot of also desk work and stuff like that. Like I had to go through and do a whole bunch of bills and all that good stuff. So let's see. I've got another question here. Says Mike, Real Sports Life says, you're right. I touch it. I'm gonna go read over here. This so far my new it's not over there. All right, so let me see here. Excuse me. See, you're right. I touch on real estate, sports life on my channel. Okay. Thus, the name LOL. Okay. Wish you continued growth and success. Thank you so much. My monitors are a little bit far back, so I'm excuse me. I do read a little bit better than that, but all right, so cool. We're gonna shout out Mike's Real Sports live channel here. Okay, so are you new to YouTube and growing your channel here, Mike? So, and I see you talk about real estate and sports. Okay, so that's different. How are you putting those two together? Real estate and sports. That's kind of an odd matchup, but who knows? It may have a little swing to it. I don't know. That's unique. Okay, I would definitely say that. So the day ended like that, and so I wanted to express, because I'm still kind of it was on my heart, the question that Pinto Bean had last Friday, as far as like being aware that if you personally guarantee, you do a PG, which I did for this fleet of vehicles that I have here, that if you personally are still responsible for it. So I'm thinking that Pinto Bean's thinking like, so well, what's the difference then if you have your fleet cars in your business name as opposed to your personal credit, when you're going to be personally responsible for it anyway? My feelings on that is that, okay, yes, I am personally responsible for it. However, these bills are in my business name, and I do have plans to make sure that I treat my business credit with respect, like I do my personal credit, and make sure that I pay the bills, which is the reason why I was saying that before you take out any of these business loans and things like that, make sure that you have plans for the money to invest it in something to have the money making money, right? Otherwise, you get the money and you just think that it's for you to get some, trips and some sushi. But I'm just joking. But, you still have to be thinking about that, payments are going to be due. And, you have to make sure that you are generating income to, make the payments, so you don't ruin your personal name by vouching for your business when you're not trying to make any money with it. So make sure that sometimes people hear that and they get excited about thinking that this business is over here and it's not going to affect you personally. Anything that you do is still going to be attached to you. However, you're not going to be risking your personal assets. You know what I mean? As far as like they can't come take your own personal stuff, because these things are in your business name. And then two, it doesn't go, it's not going to be reporting to your personal credit. So, that's the benefits of having the business credit with the PG. And if you think about it, the longer and the more mature your business credit is getting, the less you'll need to personally guarantee it. You'll be able to, your business will have good credit on its own too, because you're building that. So that is the takeaway from that. So yes, you should be cautious about that, because what happens if you get off into the business, and just like here with me, I wasn't aware that I was going to have 2 cars in an accident in the same month. And then something freaky happened with a light on a new car where it's going to be out of commission for 2 weeks because, a lot of they're slow to get parts in and just all kind of little delays and stuff like that. Like there's delays related to pretty much everything uh, nowadays. And those things to cause, me to lose money because, like I said, for the last 2 weeks, the Silver Edge was in the shop, not able to make any money. And then I had two other crash cars that weren't able to make money. So you have to think about when that happens, you need to make sure that the bills still get paid, and hence another reason why you're not trying to live off of the business in the beginning. You want to continue to reinvest. And have another question here. It says, I'm a former college quarterback at KU, Kentucky University. I don't know all these little initials here. And now a realtor. Oh, okay. Now a realtor in my home state of Texas. Um, I just made my I just made my channel to be an example. You can keep winning once the playing clock stops. Oh, I can read it over here. This even looks better. All right, so that's cool then. Okay, so a former college quarterback at KU. If I don't know what KU is, Kentucky University, maybe. And now a realtor in my home state of Texas. I just made my channel to be an example. You can keep winning once the playing clock stops. Okay, that's like a nice little catchphrase too there. So I'm going to check your channel out too, and we can give you a look too. Anybody off around here, please check out Mr. Mike Real Sports Life, and give him a couple of views and see what's happening, see what he's talking about in here. And I'm always promoting for people who start a YouTube channels. One of my passions too, especially if you got some life experience and you can use your testimony to help somebody else out. Like I said before, my passion is to help middle-aged people like myself, overcome the fear of leaving the job, because a lot of times like just recently, I'm telling myself this too, it's always still a challenge with your mindset because, earlier today, after I'm going through all this stuff, I'm thinking like, gee, man, this is still, I still haven't replaced my income, and I have to keep reminding myself about the build, what I'm doing here. Like, I always say that, you get you some soil, right? And you get a pack of seeds, some tomato seeds, and you put the tomato seeds into the soil, you till it, you just, you nurture it, you water it, and you come back the next day and there's no tomatoes. So what do? Do you just dig it up and be like, oh yeah, it didn't grow, I didn't get any tomatoes? Or no, all right? So you have to keep nurturing it. It's the same thing with anything in life. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to realize that there is a gestation period to everything in life, even relationships. And then they, have a birth, and then, fortunately they do have a death too. So, have to keep those things in mind, that once you plant the seed, you don't just dig it up the next day when it's not, what the picture says, like, supposed to be some nice juicy tomatoes here, and it's not. But so that's what I'm saying too, is part of my passion is encouraging people to get over that fear. And the way I'm going to be able to do that is to get over my fear by actually going down this road and continuing on this path and not giving up, because of course it'll be easy for me. I can go back to, I still have my nurse's license, stuff like that can just not easily, because once you do get a little taste of this here freedom, it's very difficult to go back. However, like I said, the fear of leaving behind the six-figure income is because, you become comfortable with, certain things and stuff. So it's kind of difficult to go back to eating beans and rice when, you've been doing or having some fine dining here and there. But I'm here to say that if you, when those things start happening, the best thing to do is to kind of double down and kind of just keep pushing forward which, I had a testimony back in September when I had a crash and my edge, a guest had an accident. The first time that I had an accident, a guest to have an accident, and I was, instead of like giving up, going, oh, it didn't work, I got more cars, and it actually grew and expanded my business to where things just started growing. And I'm just excited because I didn't let the fear of, oh, what do I do now? I've had an accident, the car's crashed, might as well throw the towel in and give up and go try to do something else. But I was, feeling very resourceful, and I felt like, it's time to pivot. Like, these are challenges. A lot of times, you are going to be presented with challenges, and this is your opportunity to use your critical thinking to figure out how to get out of this. You know what I mean? You have to always be thinking about how to get out of. There's a solution to every problem. You have to believe that, so you'll be able to see the answer when the problem is presented to you. So I'm excited because here it is, Monday night. I was able to accomplish most of the things, and I did get some understanding as far as like I would like to hire some help to help with cleaning of the cars, because I was grateful. Like, I didn't finish. I had really should have washed 3 cars today, but like I said, I was back and forth to the dealership for 3 different vehicles, and I did wash one and get those there too. But one of the main things that I feel like I'm really not putting a good amount of attention to is the administrative duties, like, making sure my accounting and all that stuff is in shape the right way. So today was, I did a lot of that. Like I said, I only got 90% of it done. So I do have some more work to do in tomorrow. However, I'm a little concerned about how it's going to go, because I've got cars that, I'm going to be turning cars over tomorrow, and but I'll be fine. I'm gonna figure it out. And actually, a lot of times when things are kind of busy like this, it's great for me because I feel good about, juggling and knowing that I'm, working business. However, I am aware that I can do more if I do have some help. One of the things I do want to say is that I got my first 3-star review, so I was a little disappointed, and it all stemmed back from the person that smoked in my car. So I'm going to read off that review and show you what I did to kind of try to. I'm still at an all-star host. I'm at 4.97, and I was just a little bit. I was happy that the person was honest and said that. That way, I was able to point the finger back at Turo, because with their whole going to be more prone towards taking the guest side than the host, and this person to ruin my a vehicle and then have it get a bad review because somebody smoked in there and stuff like that too. And then also it was a lesson for me to learn a little bit more about how to really clean, use the ozone, machine a little bit more effectively. And then I had to think too about like what I could have done to make the experience a little bit better for the guests, right? Because it happened at a time, like I said, I had just got the 5 new cars, and I listed them, and that Edge was one of the first ones that I listed, and it was booked within a couple of hours of me listing it. And then it got another booking to go after that one. So that's how it happened. And the first person that booked it had it for like two or 3 days, and they were the ones that smoked. Cigarette smokers are really worse than, to get out. It was horrible. So I had the ozone machine that I had just recently purchased, thank goodness. However, it was my first time, so I didn't really know how to use it or to, keep applying it and all that. And the other thing too was that I had it set up, or I allowed Turo's little automated settings to have it set up to where I only had 3 hours in between turning the car over. So with this, what was happening was that a car would get checked back in at 1, and then Turo would book it out for 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And so I'm kind of like struggling or rushing to get it done when maybe I could have put the ozone machine, ran it a couple of times instead of just one time. And, because the lady did say she smelt a faint smell. I'm going to read it off to you in just a wee bit, but I just wanted to say that because I had to think, at first I was a little like hurt because, my perfect score was tarnished, and I was disappointed because, I don't know. I was just disappointed because, that was the claim that had got denied. However, I do see, what I today, looking back on it, what I could have done. Maybe I could have offered for her to bring the car back, and I could have, put it through the ozone or whatever. But things was popping really fast for me. Like I said, I just got 5, new cars, getting them out there. And I was, a one woman show. I'm hitting it. I'm running. And at that point, I just, left it. And that person had the car for like 5.5 weeks. And so turned it in this weekend, and then they left her. The review to me was really good. They really was kind and said, everything was honest. However, they had to, bring up the fact that the car smelled like smoke, So I was just, upset about, not upset, but I was disappointed because I haven't felt like I had worked really hard to keep my, my top score, and that took pride to keep the cars clean. That I just bought the car, and it had 9 miles on it, and I had only driven it from the Ford dealership to my house and then to the drop spot. So it wasn't like, and then for the first guest to ruin it by smoking in it, I was, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed. I wasn't happy with that. I just felt like, dang, here's somebody to be careless and to just devalue, my hard, earned, everything and stuff. So I was, yeah, I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it at all. So, okay, I'm gonna switch to host here, and I'm gonna take the walk of shame and read off this here review that I was not happy to receive. But for me, I feel like at least maybe Turo will kind of own up to some things. And also, to just a quick recap on the one weed car, they did reimburse me for the late return and also the gas that he didn't fill up. And then they escalated the cleaning fee over to another department because they were saying that I should have reported the smoking, the smoking violation. However, I'm pretty sure with that weed, marijuana, all the bud that he had in the back of the car, it's going to have something else, because that person should be, Turo is supposedly to have a strict non-smoking policy. And if you smoke in the vehicle, you're supposed to be removed from the platform. However, it appears that they really don't try to remove anybody because they're probably wanting to, make the money off of renting your car out. However, they're still kind of looking over that there. So that incident is not totally finished. So you can imagine how I felt when the first smoking car, which was the cigarette, and that to me seems like it's more difficult to get cigarette smoke out of the car than the weed. And okay, so here we go. I'm going to share the screen here, and I don't even want to show you all this, but I'm going to do it. Okay, so reviews, share the screen. All right. Am I sharing here? Let me take a peek here. I am sharing, but I'm going to move this there. That looks better. All right, so let's go ahead and read this here. Read these reviews. Let's see, let me find it here. Here we go. Okay, so this here is from Rachel. She had rented my Ford Escape and says, Tiajuana was a phenomenal host. Her response for communication was extremely quick And she was also exceptionally flexible with coordinating pickup time of the vehicle due to a delayed flight. The car drove exceptionally well, no issues there. However, within the first 24 hours of driving the car, I did happen to notice a very slight hint of cigarette smoke within the vehicle that I continue to recognize every day throughout my rental period. It was not incredibly overbearing, but it was still apparent even with using two air fresheners and trying to drive with the window down. This slightly dissuaded me from wanting to drive the vehicle, but it still got the job done with what I needed it for nonetheless. So that was what the guest had said. And, it really broke my heart that, that was out there. And, I felt like I was a little, I didn't have, I felt bad that I didn't do more to make sure that that didn't happen. And like I said, it was my first time, and I did my what I did my best. So let's read what I responded, how I responded, because I felt that it was extremely important that I responded to that so people could kind of get my side of the story. So my response is, thank you for your honesty, and I apologize for the smoke smell that remained after cleaning and running the ozone machine. My new 22 Ford Escape was purchased on 9/15/22 and had one trip prior to your rental, to which the guest obviously smoked. I submitted a claim that Turo denied, stating smells aren't proof of smoking. Turo supposedly has a no smoking policy. I apologize for my limited knowledge on how to remove smoke smells, as this was my first time having a guest smoke and using ozone machine. So hopefully that will kind of give the guests something to, especially since all of my other reviews are 5 stars, and she did say some really nice things in the beginning about me, and I do appreciate her for being honest. That way Turo can see that these guests are ruining our vehicles and causing us to get bad remarks, or the vehicles aren't shouldn't even be rented like that, because they say that if you smoke in your car, then it can't be on the platform. So, to me, I feel like it's not fair, because, you know, it's the car is ruined. And, I'm going to, it's already out again on another trip, which is the sad thing. And it's going to come back tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I'll, what to do now that it's, back and all that. So I'm going to throw that ozone machine in there, maybe sit it in there for an hour or an hour and a half. I don't know. But yeah, that's what happened with that. So that was my first little, sting of a review that wasn't all that favorable. So, but again, it's still important to make sure that you address all of your reviews and stuff, good or bad or indifferent. So that's what happened with that. I'm excited that I was able to get through that. Like I said, it still did kind of I don't know, kind of it just made me just a little bit feeling, again, not really happy with the whole little Turo thing because of that. But I did have an opportunity to really voice my opinion when they did call me and stuff. So it seems like, they may be a little bit unaware of a lot of stuff too, since everything is pretty much done through the texts and the emails and all that stuff. And it's rare that you are able to really speak with a real person. So I'd like to take this time to thank you guys for listening. And I'm gonna put my where am I put my banner? Here go my banner for right there. Like and subscribe. And I do see my subscribers are moving up there. Oh, and I got some y'all doing real good with the likes too. Without being told. Thank you so much for those likes. I'm really feeling good about that. That is totally awesome. And other thing that's happening, I wanted to say too about getting those ducks in a row as far as like keeping track of the money was that for the light, that was just for the bulb itself was $1,700, and then whatever they were going to charge for maintenance. However, like I said, I have a maintenance package in there, so that was free, and also those oil changes and tune-ups, not tune-ups, oil changes and tire rotations were also free. But I wanted to talk about that to let you know that I've only been in this game for since July, and already I've had to do 3 tire rotation oil change on 2 vehicles because of the frequent rentals and people are driving them. So you have to keep those things in mind too, because these are expenses that you have to put up. Like if I didn't have the insurance, not insurance, but if I didn't have the maintenance packet on there, I would have been losing money first off, because car can't be rented with a headlight not functioning correctly. And then if I didn't have the 17 or however much it would have cost with the what do you call it, parts, labor, the labor they put it, killed me with the labor. However, I had that in the maintenance package, so I didn't have to pay for that. But I'm just saying that to say that these are the things that could really put a damper on your business when these expenses keep coming up. It could be enough to really kind of pull you down as far as like make you depressed or second guessing this or feeling like you want to go run back to the comfort of a paycheck. I'm just saying don't. And excuse me again, it's coming back. They're coming back. I just want to tell you not to. Don't do it. Just realize that this is the time when you have to really start to meditate and all that good stuff. So I started really focusing on meditating and affirmations and stuff, just to kind of make sure I get myself out of this space that I felt like the universe was trying to throw it at me, like everything and anything that could happen was, like I say before, when it's your turn to have the thing to happen, it's gonna happen. It's almost comical sometimes when like it's just just coming at you, and I just start to count it all joy, because this means that something very positive and something very good is just on the other side of it, but you just have to get through. And one thing I do want to do is I want to drop this here link in case there are some people. I did try and stop by some new Turo hosts and give them an invite to come out and give their testimony and talk in the community here and share your testimony with and your questions with people. So that's there on that. Oh, I know what I need to do. Go on this side here and open up a YouTube space. And let's see here, move it. There we go. Look at me doing some stuff over here and doing some tricks. And let me drop that link over here in this here chat. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I've dropped it over here. No, I didn't. Well, I'm trying to drop it. Let me go here. Booyah. There we go. All right, so I was hoping to be able to drop it over here also. However, oh, here we go. And there we go. So that is that. That's there. And for anybody who is looking to ask some questions, or you Turo hosts out there that I've been in your comment sections talking and stuff like that, feel free to click that link and then come up here and tell the people your testimony. Tell the people your testimony. So I also need to hang up, if I get my mouse back over here, the mouse banner for, no, I want to drop this banner here. If you're feeling it. There we go. So the other thing that I'd like to give is shout outs to my mastermind group people that have been supporting me, like Narrator, who's she comes in, she grabs the ring, she is what do you call it, the narrator. moderator. And she's really good at that. She's also has a channel, and it's growing, and she's doing a lot of interesting things on there too. And she's very technical. She's really good with that stuff. She's been very helpful for me, giving me tips and things like that, as far as like some of the technical difficulties that sometimes I do experience. So that's what I want to say. Also, shout out to other mastermind people, and to, of course, also the lead attorney who's put this all together for us, and who is really responsible for all of the growth and development. Not all of it, but a lot of the growth and development that y'all have seen me within these last little, since August, actually, since knowing him in August and stuff like that, and implementing all of this, not all, but most of the suggestions and pointers that he's given. And if if I've done the right thing, there should be a link in the description box, as far as like if you want to get his teachable course where he really helps out you to start a YouTube channel. He actually has got a part 2, which I just purchased today, and it's very interesting. But if you're just new, just getting started, I'm going to recommend that you start off with part 1 so you can get a good foundation. And part 2 really is more advanced, and it's more advanced. It's really, I haven't even gotten through all of it yet, but I've gotten through a good portion of it, and the nuggets in there is amazing. And let's see if I did put that in. If I didn't, definitely at the end of this here stream, I'll be dropping it, but it should be in there because I'm pretty good with my whole copy paste. My copy pasting abilities have, really flourished. They've really flourished. I'm loving what I'm doing here with the copy and paste. So that's that for my shout outs and things like that. So another thing that I wanted to say was to make sure that you're looking out for these expenses and things like that. If we don't have monies in the reserve to account for these things, like tomorrow, probably going to end up being Wednesday. I'm going to have to get down to, we don't call it DMV out here, but to the place where you get the tag spot. The probate is what they do out here. We don't have DMV. But anyway, it'll be time for me to renew tags for 8 cars. I did mine last month. I'm not sure why these came the month afterwards. Should all be in September according to my last name. But anyway, they split up. So this month I've got to register 8 new cars. So that's not going to be fun. However, I'm just grateful that business credit and things like that has been around, because like y'all know that this month I had vehicles out, 3 of them, for and these are the losses and things like that that we don't count on and don't anticipate on. And then when those things happen, if your foundation was kind of not all that strong, this will be to me the same as the person that goes and pluck up all of the seeds, and because it didn't grow just yet. This is when you have to start really watering it, really nurturing it, and really just continuing on in there like that, and keeping your mindset together too, because it could appear to be a scary situation where it's like, dang, I just spent this. Oh, now this is here. And a lot of times, especially if you're new to this and you don't have really a business background, or you don't really know too many entrepreneurs, it's a good thing to network and talk to other business owners, other people that's doing the same kind of thing that you're doing, or something that you're trying to do, and find mentors and people to copy, people to follow and stuff like that. People that's already doing what it is that you want to do, and not to give up, and to know that when these little things is happening, this is the universe testing you to see if you're going to be ready to step your game up and stick with it. So, and I'm talking to myself. I'm really talking to myself, because I know I was so I was really I don't know why I was so surprised, but I guess I was surprised. Like I had heard some of these little stories, but when you hear these things, you never think that it can't possibly happen to me. Is what how I was feeling and stuff like that. Like I know that there's people out there that trash cars, but yeah, I'm sure it's not gonna be happening to me. Like that's for the other Turo hosts, like the Tony luxury vehicles, have the car being part of a crime scene and things like that. And so I guess I was kind of taken aback, and and then with the whole Turo, oh, you didn't prove this, oh no, we're not going to pay for that. Those things happening started to make me. I felt like I wanted to pull when it first happened. I felt like I wanted to pull my cars off that platform. Y'all not gonna be using me and all this stuff. I was getting in my emotions, getting in my feelings. And if y'all been watching me, the first video that I did about this Turo, one of the things that I was saying is that you can't be emotionally attached to these cars, otherwise it's not going to feel good to you. And here I was, I wouldn't say I was being emotionally attached to the car. I guess I was being emotionally attached to the amount of work and care that I was putting into it. And I felt like I was being disrespected, like my work, and all of my efforts and what I was bringing to the table wasn't, being respected. And, I didn't, I didn't appreciate it. So, but these are the things that, you have to get used to. You have to, develop some thick skin when these kind of things happen, because even the guests that that you would say would be great guests, still if they have got a bunch of kids, like one of the explorers came back and you could see they had some fun in there, but like I said, I wasn't trying to just bill for charging people for cleaning fees. My thing was the amount of disrespect, like all that marijuana and that coconut oil, like that was more than just they had some cookie crumbs or some chicken wings or whatever like that. That's totally different. I'm not that host that tries to charge the guests for everything. Oh, someone left a napkin in the back seat, and so it's not like that. But when there is a valid something and then your claim is denied, it could be a little heartbreaking. Like that one video that I had did a reaction to of the one Turo host that had over $1,000 worth of scratch and damage to his Mercedes Benz, and the claim got denied because he didn't follow all the community guidelines, basically, to see the hurt in his face, and pretty much he was fighting back tears and stuff like that. So I know how that could feel, because I felt hurt. Like I almost wanted to reach out to that guest and say, how dare you, why, or just like, why did you trash my car? But I didn't want to go there, because the people that do that are the people that do that, and that's just that's part of the risk that you're gonna have to take if you can get into this here business. So I'm just grateful that I got through it, and it wasn't, could have been worse. Could have been worse. Like I've heard some horror stories from other hosts. So I'm just grateful that, my few little bumps and bruises, weren't that bad. So there we have for that. And the other thing that's been going on is that, like I said, I'm really understanding that I really don't want to spend a lot, do too much of this hands-on stuff. Like it's time for me to think about expanding the business and getting, hiring a person to really do that. That way I can spend more time doing this administrative stuff and start looking to get more money, and putting a little bit more attention to the real estate and developing my next stream of income, since I feel like Turo's in a good spot. And I really wanted to develop this kind of, mold this so I could show somebody else how to, you may, if you're like me, you may need to create a job for yourself that you could, go work in, for yourself. If your investments or all those things aren't happening right, or if you're somebody like me that like need to feel like I'm actually doing something to, generate some money, and then you can deal with, removing yourself from that later, or, scaling it up to where you're not actually the physical one in there doing that work. However, this is how I had to do it to work for me. And I am seeing that I don't want to be actually the hands-on doing it all the time. However, I would say too that because I do take pride in when I'm doing it, I do a great job cleaning, and I'm not certain that anybody would just crawl to the back of the Explorer and get way down on your hands and knees to look under the way back seat to make sure, like, I found somebody, they had kids. So when you're going on a long trip and you have kids, all my kids are grown now, but I do, I still remember. I remember sending sending back the snacks to shut the kid up, here, get some snacks or whatever like that. Especially if you're driving a long way or something like that. And if it's not your car, it's not like once you get to the airport, you're going to actually be going through there to make sure that there's no cookie crumbs or the sandwich that the kid didn't finish, or the lollipop sticks or whatever. Those kind of things is what's going to happen, and that's part of the work that's required to run this kind of business. Like, either you're going to do it, or you're going to find somebody who you can trust to do it correctly, because again, it's going to be your name on the line. I'm just grateful that the smoke car was just cigarette smoke, because I would have been devastated had one of these guests been, especially one of my little government people that come in here and get in. This is Alabama. It's not legal here. Like, can't do that here. This here is Bama, and they don't play that kind of game. So, I would have been mortified if, a guest put that in the review that, the car was, covered, smelled like weed or something like that. That would not have been, it wouldn't have been nice. I wouldn't have been happy with that at all. So it kind of made me a little bit leery as far as like, I didn't really trust Turo as much, but now it's like I said, like they're kind of, someone reached out and called me yesterday, and they're supposed to be elevating it up. So I can't, someone else is supposed to call me about the other stuff, because I did let it out. When they called, I just let it all out, and in a nice way. I mean, well, in not a nice way, but in a firm, a matter of fact way. And I let them know that it feels and appears to me that Turo is more concerned and more pro guests as opposed to the host who are providing, these cars. And I wanted to remind them, how many that I'm contributing to this platform here. So, y'all need to really think about trying to, be a little bit better to we hosts who are providing, we're the ones providing, taking the risk and putting this inventory out here like that. So yeah, that's what's been happening here in my neck of the woods. And if I don't have any more questions, let's see what else I can pull out of this here. And I did all the things that I said I was going to do. And I'm excited too that I've been keeping my commitments, and I'm thankful for everybody who's been helping to grow and support the channel. And if you've got some questions or curious about, the Turo for a business, we could talk about that too. But I just want to be honest too, and not like give these false hopes that, you start this Turo business and now you've replaced your income and all that good stuff. This here is kind of a slow process too, and that's why you have to make sure that you are in a position where you could float it if you need to until things start to grow, stuff like that, because you can't predict when things are going to happen. Like I did not, I was so excited at the end of September. I've got these 5 new cars. I was so proud of myself when the crash happened. I was like, woohoo! I didn't skip a beat. I went immediately to the Ford dealership, got 5 more cars. And since I had already did 3, I kind of already had a system, get the insurance, get the tags, and list them, and then take the pictures and put them on there and do the thing. So getting them listed and put out on the platform, going live with that was, quick and easy. And I was proud that I was able to, I kept it going. I kept it going. That deposits were still being made. These cars were being booked, and then all of a sudden, there's things happen. This one here, the light doesn't work. So now all of a sudden, I'm, 3 cars are down. And, that could feel a little scary and a little like, what I'm going to do here. I was counting on this one to make the payment on it and stuff like that, because again, I've personally guaranteed it. So that means that I got to make sure that payment that the payment is made, and that these things are getting done and stuff like that. So again, like I said, it's always very important to plan. And then if you don't plan, it's important to have resources available for when these unexpected things happen, because they're going to happen. And then they're unpredictable too, because you can't predict when they're going to happen. They just happen, and it's up to you to be able to come up with a good solution that's going to work and help you get out of your situation. So any questions out there? Anybody have any questions? Let me see if there's something I'm missing over here that I would like to share with y'all on this here Turo platform. No, let's see. So I've got 60 reviews, and like I said, my little ratings is 4.97, and we have it all to blame for the and like I said, I did take responsibility for not really I didn't know how how many times I need to hit that ozone machine to get cigarette smoke out. Could have done a little bit more research. Like I said, I did my cleaning, and I did put the ozone machine in there. I think it went for like 30 minutes or so. And like I said, it was my first time, so I didn't know. Maybe it's an hour process, or maybe it takes 2 hours to get the smoke out. However, it did seem like it worked. And if you remember, the guest did say slight, faint hint. So this is somebody who probably doesn't smoke and very sensitive to smoke smell. Hence the reason why it's just not a good idea or not a nice thing to violate the non-smoking policy. It's really not. So hopefully Turo will see this review, and I'll even reach out again and say, okay, see y'all, okay, see, look what, even though I didn't get the center. I don't even know if you can. I need to do some Googling, do some more Googling, and find out if there is a way to totally get the scent out. Hence might be the reason why they removed the ashtrays and cigarette lighters out of cars. Like the attachment is there, but back in the day, like when I was coming up, there was there was an ashtray and cigarette lighter and all cars. It was like standard. That was a thing to do. However, smoking is not as popular as it was back those years ago. So, and I don't know if because maybe like people that did smoke, it ruined the resale value for your car. I know, like if you, people that smoked in their house like that is, you have to, hire a cleaning company or some way, special way to, clean it and get that smoke out of the smoke smell out, and it's a lot. So that's going to be one thing that I'm going to challenge for me this week. I'm going to try to see what I can do about that, because like I said, that the escape is just book, and I'm just knowing that I had, so like I said, the car it was gone for 5 weeks. So after she made her first mention of it, she never said anything else about it, and I'm totally not blaming the guest. I feel bad. And that's not what I want for anybody to have to experience. Like, not really even wanting to drive the car because it smells, like I know I wouldn't want to be in this smoky a smoke car, or be with a smoker or something like that. So, um, these were learning experiences for me too. Like for me, I felt like I was very thoughtful and even more thoughtful about what I could have done to even make the guest experience a little better. Maybe I could have offered her a trade or something. I don't know. At that time, like I said, I was new and I had just got these extra 5 cars, and I really didn't even have a car to trade her for because they were just being booked out and out. But I am kicking myself for not extending more help to that guest. Like, I should have could have reached out to her and asked if she wanted to bring it in to get detailed again or something like that. And so these are pointers that I'm, pointing out to myself to help me do better in the future. Again, it was my responsibility. I shouldn't have trusted that, somebody wasn't going to break the smoking rule, because when I was doing my little research, I think somebody may have said something about guest smoking or something like that. And that's how I knew to purchase the ozone machine, for just in case. And just in case ended up being the case. So that's what happened with that. And moving forward, I do try to put the ozone machine in the cars after they come back from a trip, just because sometimes people wear, different perfumes or colognes and things like that. And the scents do be in the car. So I try to zap it with the ozone machine as often as possible to try to decrease on that as much as possible. And also in my affiliate links, I do have that 7 figures affiliate link. And like I said, 7 figures is a funding group, and they specialize in helping people get funding to start their business. So they looking at getting you personal funding so you can use those funds to start your business. And you click the link below, fill out the application. They just do a soft pull on your credit report so it doesn't affect your credit as a hard inquiry. And they also have different services if your credit isn't good, because they specialize in helping people with the good credit to be able to get it. So if you first number start with a 7, you pretty much just show in to get some funding for your business. However, like I said, if you have some challenges, they are able to lead you in the right direction to get you help with getting that kind of dusted off. Sometimes we have to dust off those your credit profile, just to make sure it stays nice and tidy and ready for approval, so you can excel and always be in a position to expand. You know what I mean? A lot of times when opportunity knocks and you're not ready, you kind of like miss out. So it's always good to be ready, stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. So that's my little speech, my speech for tonight. It really does kind of feel like a Friday night for some strange reason, even if it's a Monday night here. But I just wanted to make sure that I'm still touching on my responsibilities here, or my obligations, as far as like coming, providing this live platform. Like I said, it's really my passion to want to include more of us Turo hosts to keep talking. And I did come across a new person's site. They were just building up, and I'm not sure if they actually went on and made the purchase for. They were looking at some vehicles, and one they were sitting in looked very luxurious. It was a nice car. However, it had all white interior, and I just remember going, "Wait, not to say no, but just to keep in mind that keeping the interior of these light colored interiors are, they're really difficult. I think I have three. Yeah, I've got 3 vehicles with the light interior, the light. Luckily they are leather, so I have some leather cleaner that I have to keep it up. However, like I said, that one guest that smoked in the escape had the makeup on the hands and the sun visor. If you've got makeup on your hair and you go to grab to look in the mirror, there was, makeup fingers all over that. And that was difficult to clean. It really wasn't too difficult. I took makeup wipe removers and, I got it out like that. I just wanted to warn the young lady to be mindful that, like, yeah, it looks really great, but how are you going to feel about keeping it clean and stuff? And then, something like that, it gets a smudge or dirty stain on it, it just depreciates. And, your nice car that you're getting all these compliments on, now you see these stains. And stains are horrible. So, but there's different things that you can do to get stains out. And I'm excited about that too, because like today I had, some challenges with cleaning some some stains out of the one of the Explorers. I don't remember which one, but I got some upholstery cleaners, stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot of different things because I try to keep the cars looking new, try to keep them looking new. And that's why I do the like series detailing and stuff like that, because I just, I don't know, since they, was came new, I kind of can tell when things aren't, where they should be at, or some dirt or something like that, or, get a vacuum up in all these little crevices and stuff like that. Um, it does make a difference. So I do, it makes me feel good that they, still look new, and I'm still getting compliments on them like that. However, it is, it's a challenge, the challenge. And that's why that's why I was saying that, it could be difficult to let somebody else do it, because, it's your name online. And this is something I'm working on within myself, because I don't want to, tie myself down to this job. It wasn't my plan to, well, it was my plan to create the job for myself so I could, not have to go back to work. However, I was always, trying to figure out how I could scale this to where I'm not the one physically doing it. And I'm going to honestly say, I don't think Turo is, a low or a, a platform where you're not going to be doing any work. Okay, all right. I have someone coming up here. I'm not. Let me see here. All right, I have someone coming up here. I'm not. Let me see here. Make it. Hold on one second while I turn off one of these monitors. Hold on one second while I turn off one of these monitors. Is that my feedback or your feedback? Okay. David, and I still can't even hear. This is too much. All right. Okay. Let me just see. I've got to mute one of these. Something is making too. Let me turn this off. Yeah. No, that didn't work. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Is that your speaker on? No. Okay. Let me see. Is that your Oh my God! It's so much feedback. Let's see. Turn that down. Oops.
Okay. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Okay. Can you hear me?
But I got all this feedback. I can hear you now.
No feedback.
No feedback. Okay, that is perfect. Great. Okay, so let's see here. David, how you pronounce your last name? No feedback. Okay, that is perfect. Great. Okay,
Right.
let's see here. But now I hear the feedback again. Okay, let's try this again. What's your comment or question? Okay, let's try this again. What's your comment or question? Uh-oh.
So I had a question about high-end rentals. I have a Tesla, and I was wondering if there's a premium that you can get for like a high-end rental.
Where are you located? What state are you in?
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. Okay, what I usually recommend is to go to the Turo platform and pull up your location and then see, you said a Tesla, how many Teslas are out there, and it'll kind of give an idea of how much they're renting for. What I've seen in different states, a lot of those Teslas are like $100 to $200 depending on the models. But the thing is, you have to see if it's something in your area that people are renting. Tampa, Florida, you guys got what? Isn't that like y'all have a lot of tourist stuff there, Tampa, Florida? That if that car might work in that location. So you have to check to see what the market is like in your neck of the woods. If that helps any. But those cars do well in some states, and see how many Turo hosts are there, and how many of those vehicles are on there, and how many rentals would they have. Let me see. I'm going to pull up your location. Say Tampa, Florida, and we see what cars are doing there. What kind of cars they have. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like a whole bunch of cars. However, let me see. I'm going to share this screen here, and they do look like they have kind of high end cars there. So that might do well. Would this be your first car on Turo that you're considering?
Okay. Yes, and I'm going to drop off because I think that either my end or your end is causing feedback, but I'll still be engaged, okay?
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so let me continue to share here, and I'm going to we'll look at your Tampa, Florida area. If I can get back up there. And I promised to work on figuring out what happened with that feedback. That was very, very nice of you to come up here and see here. Tampa, Florida. And we can see here that there's a BMW i8, and okay. It's going for $155. We're looking for Teslas. Okay, here's one. A Tesla. Okay, so they're only getting or asking for $100 a day. It's had 11 trips, and a 5-star host is responsible for this car here. And I'm gonna go click on them and see how many cars they have. I'm not sure if this is it hasn't let me show that other part there. But is that the Tesla? You said Tesla. I didn't remember what model you said. But here, that there was one of the Teslas there, and it looks like they're not even giving out a good amount. Maybe it might be a lot of hosts here in Tampa. The Tesla model share. Please tell me I'm sharing the screen. Yes. All right. So here it is. Right there, and we can see the type of cars that they have. Here's the all the cars that's around in your area there, and so a Tesla 22. That's not really a good price there. Let's see here. All right, so this i8 is going for $285. They've had 19 trips. 19 trips. That's a pretty decent amount of trips. An Audi RB in 2011. Okay, wow. So this is kind of, I guess, more like a classic or whatever. And they're charging $241. So there's some pretty high-end cars here. However, this to me, when it shows these little prices like that, may indicate that a lot. But look at this one's been on 50 trips. So they're kind of cranking out a lot of trips here. But there's the SUVs are really good. These get rented out pretty good here. But looks like Tampa, Florida has Here's another Tesla. Wow, only 86 hours a day. It's only had one trip too. This one, I don't know, man. So I don't know. I wouldn't think that these cars are like cranking out too much there in Florida. We saw like about three of them. Model 3, was that a Model 3 that we just saw? Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's a Model 3. So if they're only charging 86 and the average car on this Turo platform is going to rent for about 20 days. So if you can see any type of um, profit off of that once you've paid your note, if you have a note, and your insurance and all that stuff, multiplying the 86 bucks a day times 20, subtracting whatever fee you're going to break off with um, Tesla. With Turo, and there may be a small profit in there. However, it didn't seem like a good amount there. It seems like they were really depreciating the numbers on it there. Like that Tesla should be at least $100 a day, 110, 120, 120 something a day for a Tesla. But again, you didn't see, you saw the market there. I don't know how well that would do, or if that would be enough of a profit for you to put your car out there on there. And the reason why I'm saying that is because once you put your car out there, it's open season, and there's things that happen to the car. You have to be in a position where you can be emotionally removed from it. And if there's like I had all new cars and they're already with all these miles on it, ready to get oil change and tire rotation and these type of things, if it's going to be worth it to you or not. I'm excited about it because, like I said, I have 8 cars in the fleet. A personal car make 9 for me. However, I feel like the guests are paying down paying down the note, and I'm building the equity in my business. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not making big profits off of these cars and stuff like that. After the car note and the insurance and the maintenance and all that is paid for, it looks like the cars are averaging 3, 4, and one of them, the SUVs, the Explorers, made a $500 profit on it. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that that's bad or anything. I think it's pretty decent. And like I said, I'm building up my business worth, and that's how I'm looking at it. Because if you're looking at it like, okay, I'm trying to get or pay my everything off of it like that, that's probably not going to happen. It's going to be a small stream of income, and it's not passive. Like there is physical work involved in it, the cleaning of the cars and stuff like that. And I want to work on figuring out what happened with the with the audio like that. I turned off all of the other boxes, so I wasn't sure how that worked, and I do apologize for that. It was really disappointing. I felt good that somebody actually was up here coming, and this was one thing that I don't know. I think I was successful um, with somebody coming up and the feedback. However, I'm still grateful that you did come up here and ask some good questions, and I'm hoping that I'm able to answer it without giving you false hope or or making it seem like it's really not worth it. Like I said, it's been rewarding for me, and I'm happy that it's an attainable business. Like the amount of money to get started is not that much. It's not that much, and it's definitely could be a complementary to a rental, stream too. Like there's people that do have Airbnbs and they're blending it with the Turo cars and stuff, like for the guests that's coming in. And you living in a state or a town where they do a lot of touristy stuff, there, it's a good potential, a good opportunity to have some um, cars out there, and these rental cars are definitely needed. Like I was saying before, my airport business is really picked up a lot because the rental car companies that are there at the airport, they're really they're doing bad because it's not that many cars, and the production was off for that year because of the little COVID thing or whatever like that. They're still blaming that on a lot of reasons, that they have inflated the prices of these cars, and there's not a big used car inventory. So a lot of my guests that I get are people that got their reservations canceled from Enterprise and the Avis and stuff like that, because they don't have any cars. They'll let you book the car and give you give you your confirmation, all that stuff you would have booked and paid, and you get here, and the day of your the day of your trip they tell you that you don't have a car. So those people, they scramble and they book instant booking with me, and and I get a chance to help the people out. So that feels good too, because I can tell that people are very grateful for the service that I'm providing, and I do enjoy that. So that'll be good for you too, David, to try something. If you, what other stream of income do you currently have, and how much time do you have to put forward to this business? Because one of the things that I do with my business is I have the remote keyless entry, and so I offer that for the pickups and the drop-offs for the guests, which enables me to be able to like, what was that, Friday night, I had to stay up till 1:30 in the morning because my airport guests, they were supposed to be there at 10:30, and because of flight delays, they didn't get in until 1:11 when they texted me that their plane landed. Anyway, so I'm having to stay up to open the door for them there. But if I didn't have that available, that means physically you have to be the one to meet the guest and hand over the keys and all that stuff. So having real estate investment, okay. Hey, like I'm a real estate agent. I'm a realtor, and my original plans was to try to do this, be a real estate investor, and that's why I went to school to get my real estate license, because I wanted to have, feel confident that I have knowledge on this whole thing. However, I wasn't being successful in the real estate because I realized that I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to sell. Um, I like to help people make transactions and to make a purchase, something like that. But I don't want to feel like I'm a salesperson, like I've got to convince you or try to get you to do something. I don't want to persuade you or anything like that. I want to encourage you, bring you information so you can make a clear decision, clear choice for yourself. And that was one of the things that kind of had me feeling like I couldn't do the real estate investment, because there is a learning curve on that. And then there's those sharks out there that try to exploit and take advantage of new people into the business by, doing negative things. But if you're ever considering purchasing any real estate here in the good city of Montgomery, Alabama, please see me. Please see me, Mr. Real Estate Investor, and we can probably grow together and stuff like that. It's always good to team up with people and share expertise and things like that, so you can build and grow together, right, as a community. But I do thank you for your questions and all that good stuff. And if nobody, oh, is this a question? What is this? Oh, a private chat. Lots of feedback. Oh, lots. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. I mean, I'm slow on that there. Excuse me. But thank you guys for stopping by and listening to me talk for tonight. I didn't really have much. Wanted to give an update and let you guys know that I'm still excited about the Turo, even though last week was, y'all didn't see me smiling about the whole thing, and I had I had a few choice words to talk about, and I went through a whole bunch of little different things like that. But just to show y'all that, it's all part of, what you have to do when you're getting started on this here business, on your entrepreneurship journey and all that good stuff. So tune in, and I'll be back with y'all again on Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. And y'all got questions and all that good stuff, leave them in the box there, and then I'll get back to them as soon as I'm able. And thanks again, y'all. I didn't want to let y'all go because I still see some people out there blinking at me. But since y'all don't have any questions, I'm not going to blame you guys. But I will talk to y'all soon, and love you, and talk to you soon. Peace.